Shalom. First off, I want to give all honor, all glory, and all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone GMS of Ruel. Shalom to the elect, beginning with the 144,000, and to all you Akim that preach his word in truth and sincerity. I pray that peace and mercy is bestowed upon you and all those that believe. This is the brother Halal from the Great Millstone branch here in Chicago, coming at you with another episode on the first of the month, January 1st, so-called New Year's Day, which the real New Year's comes in the Passover, which is around the spring season when the trees start to grow again. And you know, our apostle Tahar, he coined 2025 as the hopeful year of destruction and deliverance, because this place, you know, Babylon the Great does not have much longer. You know what I'm saying? It's only a matter of time, and it only takes one event, one day, one bad day for everything to crumble. But this lesson is going to be about the breakdown on Matthew chapter 5 and verse 44. Because, you know, this right here is a scripture that Christians, that anti-Christians will try to use when we, you know, call out Esau and all the bullshit that he's done and say that the Lord is going to give us the power to, you know, kill him the way that he killed us and to bring him into captivity the same way that he enslaved our forefathers. But these Christians will always use Matthew chapter 5 and 44 to basically say that we're supposed to just, you know, show affection to Esau despite all the things that he's done without knowing the proper breakdown and context on what this means. So starting off, this is the book of Matthew chapter 5, and I'll start at verse 43. And it says, "Ye have heard that it hath been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thy enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, and do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust." So this scripture, you know, an anti-Christian will read this and will assume that all of our enemies, you know, that led us into captivity, that we're supposed to just show love and kindness to them. But what is it talking about when it says, what, love your enemies? It's talking about what? Your fellow Israelite. Because going back to the law of Moses, what did it tell us in the book of Leviticus? This is the book of Leviticus chapter 19. And I'll start at verse, a matter of fact, I'll start at verse 17. It says, "Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer the sin upon him." So you're not supposed to hate the children of thy people. But verse 18, it says, "Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord." And who is your neighbor? What is that talking about? That's talking about what? Your kinsman, you know, a fellow Israelite, so to speak. So now that Yahushua came down, what did he tell his people to do? He said, what? Love your enemies and love them that hate you. Because who was Yahushua mainly being persecuted by in these times? Was Yahushua being persecuted mainly by Elam? Was he being persecuted mostly by Ishmael? No. He was being persecuted the most by what? His own people. So when Yahushua was speaking to the disciples, he said, what? Love your enemies and bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. Because being in this truth, what? We're supposed to what? Live peaceably. I get that scripture as well. This is the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 17. It says, "Recompense to no man evil for evil, provide things honest in the sight of all men." Going back to the law of Moses. You know, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Verse 18, "If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably amongst all men. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, Vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith Yahweh." So it says, live peaceably amongst all men. But the key word is if it be possible. Because going to the book of Ecclesiastes and starting at verse Bear with me, Akim. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, and verse 1. And it says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So there's a time for every purpose. Verse 2, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to mourn, a time to dance. I'm just going to skip down to the point. It says a time of love and a time of hate, a time of war and a time of peace. So there's a time where if it's not possible to live peaceably amongst all men, then what do we have? We have Yahweh Bashim Shai to recompense destruction upon our enemies. So when it talks about thou shalt love thy enemies, what is it talking about? Your own people. Because going back to what we just read, thou shalt not avenge thyself, but thou shalt love thy neighbor, thine kinsman as thyself. So now Yahweh Shai coming back, what did he say? He says, what? To heap coals of fire upon their head. Meaning that when, these jakes, when they treat you a certain type of way, you still have to move with a righteous conduct, man. Let's go to the book of Matthew chapter 10 and verse 16. And it says, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But going back to what it says what? Be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. We're supposed to be men that observe the times, man. And we're supposed to move with a righteous conduct among the people of the world. So we're not supposed to be, trying to act all tough, man. We're supposed to be humble. And if it be possible, key words, if it be possible, live peaceably amongst all men. Because at the end of the day, Apostle Peter and the rest of the disciples, they carry swords, man. So they weren't just these soft, overly, effeminate men, man. If the time called for war, they were going to go to war for Yahweh Shai. That's why Apostle Peter, when Yahweh Shai was about to be crucified, it says in the book of Matthew chapter 26 and verse 51. Matter of fact, I start at verse 50. And Yahweh Shai said unto him, friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on Yahweh Shai and took him. And behold, one of them which were with Yahweh Shai stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. So Apostle Peter cut his ear off with a sword. So these men, they were carrying weapons, man. Because although, they had to move as sheep amongst the wolves, was represented the Pharisees and all the people which persecuted Yahweh Shai. If it wasn't possible for there to be peace, and Yahweh Shai would have gave the message, his servants would have did what they had to do. Because, of course, back then, they had fights. There was still wars going on. But Yahweh Shai was sent to be that sacrificial lamb. And when Apostle Peter was thinking carnally, what did he tell him? Verse 52. Then said Yahweh Shai to him, put up again thy sword into his place. For all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. So if you live by the sword and you don't live by the wisdom of Yahweh Bashim Shai, being wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, you're going to die by the sword, man. Which goes back to Revelation when it talks about Esau. He that killeth with the sword shall be killed with the sword, and he that leads in the slavery and captivity shall go into captivity. Let's go to the book of matter of fact, let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 12, in verse. Oh, this is Ecclesiastes. We need Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, in verse 1, it says, when thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it to. So shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits. Do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense. And if not from him, yet from the Most High. I'm going to read that again. Matter of fact, I'm going to keep reading down. Verse 3, there can no good come to him that is always occupied with evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. Give to the godly man, and help not the sinner, man. So ultimately, we have to know who we're doing good to. We're not supposed to, be all lovey-dovey with Esau, man. Here it is. After all the shit that these people have done, here it is. We got fucked up for 400 years, but these people don't think that Esau Edom is going to get his just desserts and be recompensed for all the evil that he has done. The scriptures say, I don't know why this app be tripping like this, man. Salakia. This is the book of James, chapter 2, in verse, I'll start at verse 12. It says, so speak ye and so do, as they that shall be judged by the law of liberty. For he shall have judgment without mercy that have showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment. So those that show no mercy are going to ultimately receive no mercy from Yahweh B'Shem Shai. And this is in the New Testament, man. So when it says love thy enemies, what does it mean? It says be harmless as a serpent, Slakia, wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. So we have to move with the proper conduct amongst these people. But when the time comes for the Lord to arise to the prey, and he gives the power to his men, what are they going to do? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, and verse 16. It says, behold, I will send for many fishers, which the fishers ultimately represent the prophets, gathering the elect together, saith Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And after the restoration of the elect, when this word is preached to the four winds of the earth, and after will I send many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. For my eyes are upon their ways, and they are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes. And first, I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land and have filled my inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things, man. So although we're supposed to move, with the proper conduct in this world, not trying to be no tough guys, not trying to unnecessarily start fights and all that, once the Lord gives the power to his men to recompense onto those who have troubled us, that's going to be the time where no mercy is going to be shown to those who showed no mercy. And who has been going around destroying the earth? Esau Edom, man. Bombing people, not showing any type of compassion or mercy. So when the time comes for the Lord to give the power to his men, they're going to destroy those who destroyed them, man. I'll end this off with, I think I already went to Rome. Did I already go to Romans? I'll end this off with Revelation. This is the book of Revelation. So I think it's 10 or 13. I forgot where it was. Revelation chapter. No. Yeah, Revelation 13 and 10. Salakia. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 10. And it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, man. And this right here is in the New Testament, in the last chapter of the Bible, known as what? Revelation. What does the word revelation mean? To what? To ultimately reveal. So although we have to move with a certain conduct in this world, among these heathen, knowing that we're in the land of our captivity, once the Lord raises up his men with that power, all those who showed no mercy to us, they're going to be repaid vengeance for what they have done to the earth, man. So I hope this lesson was edifying. Don't allow these Christians to confound you with scriptures like John 3:16 and Matthew 5:44, because they don't have the proper understanding of what that means, man. So with that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Moson GMS, the Ruel, Shalom, and Abba Ball, and Kwam Yasha Allah. I will see you on the next lesson.